Hello everybody! Very happy birthday to you, Karishma. So nice to see you live on a birthday. Fabulous. For all of you here, 100 kisses. Thank you so much for being here early in the morning. Passion for heart. Oh, already started with Q&A. Let me just welcome a few people and then I'm going to come down to Q&A. Okay, so Lucky Dubey, hi. Divya, Vaishali, Mindset Shift, hello. Gargi, Arya, Kinu Didi, Rohini, Kashyan, Putan, Nutan. What have I done to your name? Kashyap, Nutan. So Nutan Kashyap, I'm going to guess. Yes. Tenaz, super hello. Simani, hi sweetheart. Sonia, hello. Puja, Shashi, hi sweetie. Gayatri, Nagashri, I feel like now you're family. For me, all of you have turned so much family because when I read your names, it's like I know who's going to be here in the room. This time, we have the largest number of winners from our story shares. So I'm so proud to announce that last time we had over 39 story shares and it's been just simply fabulous to see. Like my entire story was just covered by all of you and I loved that, you know, because writing those takeaways cement. So today also, I hope we are able to beat the 39 number. Okay? Saubana to every single one of you from my tribe. So nice. Pretty outfit. Oh, I just picked it up from Zara. So yeah, today is my lunch out, so I've gotten ready for lunch also. So I'm doing double this thing. I'm going to use the same outfit for lunch, same outfit for morning Insta Live. Yes. I don't know why I give so much information, but whatever, not that you're even asking. It's your 30th birthday today. Congratulations. Super, super happy birthday, Karishma. Okay, let's move into questions. Yashupur Gowda is asking, I and my hubby are living separately from 5 months. In the starting, he called me back. Now he's losing interest in me and he's leaving for another city. I want to get back now, but my self-respect is hurting. You know what, honestly, when I want something, then I go for what I want. I can work. So if you're feeling like, you know what, he contacted you, correct? He asked you to come back. You didn't at that point in your ego or whatever reason or in your hurt or in whatever. Now for you to go back and tell him that I want to come back, there's no harm because he'd already done the first approach, right? He can't approach you a second time. Even he has some self-respect, correct? So I feel like we have to play this game. I always say, normally when a couple fights, one makes the mistake, the other gets angry. The other remains angry while this one keeps on trying to, you know, patch up. Then a time comes where this one feels like, yeah, if you don't want to patch up, to hell with you. And this one starts to go into their ego. Now this one starts to feel like, oh, I want to patch up, but now they don't know what to do. So then they try to patch up, but by this time, this one is angry. And so what happens in most relationships is we keep playing the ego patch up game. One is in ego, one is in patch up. So very important in your relationships to start to work on is that when someone reduces their ego, please give in. That's a very essential learning in a relationship. One of the things what Puneet and I have realized is the one who says sorry is greater or larger and therefore must be respected. So if someone is saying sorry, see if you can reduce your ego and patch up. And now that you didn't do it at that point, see, I don't know enough about your situation for me to give you advice like this over Insta Live. But honestly speaking, just look at everything I'm saying and then you make sense of it. But now what I can read from it, it's your turn to put your ego down and don't call it self-respect, call it ego. It's easier to put it down. When we call it self-respect, that feels like self-respect is when someone is attacking your dignity. Ego is when you want to be pampered rather than be the one, bending. Puneet and I always say this, that in our relationship, the one who wins the battle actually will lose the war. Because the one who's able to bring their ego down and keep the relationship more authentic, more real, more loving, shouldn't that person be the one rewarded? So see if you can convert your relationship into the one that the one who bends should be the greater one in the relationship, ideally. That's how I feel relationships can improve a lot just by doing that. If it's not too personal, which shade of lipstick do you wear? It's looking very nice. Oh, I know I'm wearing a NARS, but I don't remember the shade. I just took it out from one of my drawers and I've just put it on. It's a very light, orangey, lip glossy kind of shade. I don't know, could be an orgasm. I don't know the exact name of the shade. Let me just check and maybe put it under this video. What I'll do is I'll put it NARS and I'll put the name of the shade. It's quite a light shade. It doesn't really cover your lips properly. So if you want it's more like a tint. It's not very significant. So I normally would put another lipstick underneath that and then apply this on top. But today I haven't done that. Allure Crown, love you, my darling. So happy to see you here. Another life-changing week has arrived. That's too sweet. Passion of Art Annie. What to do if your hubby after every argument asks you to leave the house? So I'll tell you why I'm smiling. I'm smiling because for the first 6 years of my marriage, that had become my weapon. Every time Puneet and I would have a fight, I would say, I'm leaving. And then he would go, please don't leave, please don't leave. And I used to love that whole please don't leave. I used to feel so important in our marriage. And then a day came, I remember, where he said, actually, better you leave. I think I'd overdone the card. We all have this power card. We shouldn't use it too often. So because if you use it too often, someday the other person may just take it up, So I remember one day I said, I'm going to leave. And he said, better you leave. That day and today, it's been, I think, 20 years. I haven't thought of leaving, or at least 15 years for sure. Because you know what? It's the power play. It's his ability to have that power over you. See if you can reduce that power that he has over you. Maybe someday you should just get up and go off and say, you know what? You asked me to leave. It wasn't me. And see what that does to the dynamics. I'm not sure if it'll work, it'll not work. But you just have to see how can you make him stop using this power play on you. Because otherwise what happens is it just turns into this sort of a blackmail, which I think is so unfair. And then, you tend to go, no, I don't want to leave. Please don't. You don't want to get into all of that. So see either you can choose to ignore it where it doesn't mean anything because it's just out of anger that it's coming out. Or if you want him to stop saying it, when he's in his calm, sit down and speak to him that the next time you say it, sweetheart, I'm going to take it very seriously. So you better be careful because I want to respect every word you say. So when you say this, it really hurts me. I don't want to leave, but if you are going to say it one more time, I am going to leave. So have that conversation in the calm to prepare him so that he thinks twice. And then just see how you can, what you need to do for these dynamics to change. I can tell you just once Puneet saying, better you leave, never again did I use it. But then I don't know really what your situation is and in what context he's saying it. So understand the whole picture and then just know that this is his, what I call Brahmastra. Anytime he's losing the conversation with you or the fight with you, the easiest thing to say is this. And he also knows you're not going anywhere and that's why he's saying something like that. Puja Shashi Shekhar, a very good morning, Puja. I love my Wednesday mornings. God bless you, Puja. Thank you. Jai Lakshmi, hi ma'am. My son is 19 years old and he's addicted to outside food. What is the reason? How to overcome this? Jai Lakshmi, a lot of time that happens that, you know what, children start to tend to want to eat outside food more than home food. There's no real reason apart from the fact that it's tastier, it's more junk, it's more easy. Swiggy's made life very easy for these children. So you can sit down and have a conversation around it, that what is okay, what is not okay, and see if you can create some choices and consequences. He's too grown up now to have any control over it really, but you can still sit down. Like one of the things I tell both my boys is at least one meal has to be home, you know, when they, especially because they come down from London where literally all 3 meals are outside food. So I tell them at least at home. The older one loves home food, the younger one doesn't like home food that much. So I tend to, you know, have these conversations that at least, especially because if you're gymming and you're exercising, which is something I really encourage them to do, see if you can encourage your son to do gymming and exercising. What that does is that fixes their food very easily, because they themselves then become very conscious of putting good protein inside their body or good food inside their body. So see if you can have that conversation. I'm sure it's not going to be easy, but it's very worth asking. One of the things I tell my children is, come, let's sit and make the weekly menu. They hate it, by the way, but it's one of the things I do, that, you know, okay, let's decide what are your favorite things. You want butter chicken and dosa one day, you want idli sambar one day, you want pasta one day, you want pav bhaji one day. At least if it's homemade, it's healthier than outside. So tell me what it is you want. So like, these are all different conversations. I'm not going to say you're going to succeed at the get-go, but over time you'll start to see there will come a balance. Their awareness does hit them at some point. Sometimes it's a phase of them going through, you know, that. Another thing I tell them is, at least make sure your fruit, your shake, your, you know, those kind of things, if they can just consume at home. So at least something's going in. So I say, instead of when you're choosing to eat a packet of chips, see if you can finish an apple before that, so that you can, you know, easily without guilt have that packet of chips. Again, all of these are hard conversations. One of the things that happens in our house is that Puneet's a very role model in what to eat and all of that. So I have that advantage of giving Papa's example. See, look at in your house if you have any examples that you can, you know, set. Maybe you yourself are very conscious and healthy. So then know that one thing I know for sure about these children, when they return back to exactly how the parents used to do it. So maybe right now at the age of 19, he's not going to listen. But by the time he touches 21, 22, 23, a time may come that whenever he does get conscious about his health, he's going to follow one of you, whoever is good at it. So don't worry at all. Yeah. Oh, it came off right to the bottom. I may have missed a few questions in the process. You can just retype your questions. I'll just try to go back up if I can. All right, lovely thyself. Puja darling, me and my husband have lost complete interest in intimacy after kids or even before kids. Any insights? You know what, honestly speaking, I think the fact that intimacy needs to match is a myth. For most couples, one has a higher libido than the other, and I feel like that's something you need to explore and study. So I'd love for you to watch a few of these TEDx talks that are there on, you know, mismatched intimacies and how to cope with that. And, you know, I'm not exactly a sexologist, so I don't give big advice on this. Yet having said that, because I have so many clients who suffer from this, one of the things that I have understood over the years is that it needs to be planned. Just the way we go to the gym, it's a plan. You may or may not be interested, but once you are there, you kind of land up enjoying it. That's pretty much how even your, you know, date nights need to be a little planned. Make it a little more exciting. After a while, you know, we lose interest in things. So you want to work with one another on this. So look at how, what are the things he likes, what are the things you like, how can you make this into your structure, into your schedule, and, you know, over time it will start to come back. So initially it may feel a little fake or forced or something like that, but you know what, over time it can start to get more exciting. So again, I would just ask you to just follow a lot of these. I love following, there's a lady in Instagram, I think her name is Leena Mangaldas or Mangadas, something like that. Leena and then Mangadas, like that. I love following her. She has a lot of advice on all of these things. Again, you can look at a few more. What I'll do is I will I will post under this post today a few of these names, intimacy teachers. You know, I have a few that I follow who are really good. I really enjoy watching what all they have to say. So I'd love for you to also keep exploring this. I'm so happy that you're asking questions like this, because for most people, they would have so much fear even acknowledging something like this. But I think it's about time we started to have these conversations and started to look at what's the professional way of getting help on topics like this. Because you know what? It's a huge part of our lives and no one deserves to be dissatisfied in it. So love thyself 05. 1,000 kisses to you and all the very best. Just do a lot of exploration and you know, look at different solutions, and don't get disheartened if that solution doesn't work. There are so many solutions, okay? So just know that. Countess Home Corner Gifts. Hi ma'am, I'm so confused between selecting which passion to go for, life coaching or interior designing, as I'm equally interested in both. So when you are in exploring stage, no, firstly stop using the word confused, okay? Confused feels like something from outside needs to come and help you. Start to use the word I'm exploring both of these, okay? And as you keep exploring, see which one starts to pull you more. So for some time you travel on both the boats till both the boats start to go so far apart that you can't travel, and then you have to move to one, okay? Remember one thing. We believe that our passion is going to be one for the rest of our life. Can I tell you, every 5 years I reinvent myself. And I believe that especially if you're a woman like me, multifaceted and you know, desires to grow in various areas of your life, then please know there will come a time where interior designing and life coaching itself will get married. What do I mean when I say that? See, when you bring in Vastu and you bring in all of these Feng Shuis and energy management of the house and how people's relationship are within the house and marry it to interiors, you become a very unique interior designer. Would you agree? And so look at both. Whatever is exciting you first, go and learn one, see where it started to go. Keep the second in the background. And today I feel like all of us are a khichdi of many talents rather than being one talent oriented, you know. So don't worry at all. I know so many people today who are doing art in design. What do I mean by art and design? Like they will be designing a car, so it's actually tech. But because they are designing, it's art. So art in science, art in design, these are all now combinations that are starting to work in the world. There's no longer art was separate, science is separate, commerce is separate. They're actually all getting mixed up as on today, correct or no? So start to look at how can you, the first thing you have to understand is that there is no wrong answer. If you can get this, that there is no wrong answer, both the choices are right. I at one point wanted to become a makeup artist. At one point I wanted to become a packaging lady for weddings. At one point I was running a school. Now I'm a life coach. I don't know, maybe someday I'll be a principal of a school, because I feel like this needs to come into the education system really badly. So I don't know where this will take me. What I know is nothing was wrong. Everything led to the other opening up for me. Okay, so it's like peeling the layers of onion. This led me to the next step, that led me to the next step, that led me to the next step. The courage to start is the most important thing. For most of us, it's not the lack of ideas or not getting the idea right. It is the courage to be able to start. So I'm going to say, give yourself a lot more points for starting, for having the courage to choose one and starting, then for which one should I go for. Okay, I always say passion to me is like choosing a husband. You normally will have 2-3 options. Maybe somebody will show you a photograph, or there are 2-3 boys who are wooing you, and then you kind of like make sense of each one and say, you know what, out of this 3, I think I like this one most, and then you marry him. And then what happens a month later? Normally what will happen a month later is you'll think, I wish I'd married the other one. So it doesn't matter which one you start with, my darling. One of the things I'll tell you, within a month, 2 or 3, you're going to feel like, oh, I think maybe the other one also could have been a good option, because when it will get hard here, that will start to look greener. So just know that, you know what, it doesn't matter. Start with whatever is calling you most, or whichever is the easiest to start, or whichever where you have the maximum opportunity for now. Maybe if you're becoming a life coach, come attend Coaching Mastery for 2 days with me. It's happening on the 9th and 10th of July. Come spend 2 days with me. See if you like the coaching world. Join that. Go look at, explore some of these interior decorating courses and see, do they make sense? Do you have the next 6 months just to be studying? Go join that. So it's not about the right decision. It's about making the decision and then making it right. I'm going to repeat that. It's not about the right decision. It's about making the decision and then making it right. Okay, my sweetheart? Savita Agarwal, my question is, when I show my Kali avatar, my husband shows me his Vairav avatar and he digs out all this rubbish, and lastly, I have to keep myself mum. So Savita, one of the things you have to understand is that the Kali avatar does not come out of option. Ideally, it should not be an option. If it's an option, then better to keep it within. Kali avatar is your last resort when you know nothing else is working. And if someone comes on even stronger, then you need to see what were the consequences that you had set in the first place. So if someone is going to act even nastier, then maybe the Kali avatar with them is not the right avatar, because Kali avatar needs you to be more powerful than the person opposite you. And if your Kali avatar does not take you to that level of more power, then Kali avatar you have wasted completely. So then it is better to have some sort of a retreat avatar, somebody who retreats and looks and plans for, okay, I can't fight this person one-on-one. I need to fight this person with a different strategy. You know, we used to have this guerrilla strategy in war, which used to be more the hidden kind, where you don't go face on, you just go from some other angle. So I feel like maybe then your Kali avatar strategy may not be working in your favor. So look at some other strategy. Maybe he works better with dash, and then you have to look at what is going to be that dash strategy that works better. I do not like to take my Kali avatar out unless somebody has poked me so much that I know that for them to retreat now, I have to show them that side of mine. And if people don't retreat after showing your Kali avatar, then you use the wrong weapon in the wrong situation. Okay, darling? So look at how can you handle him. You don't need the Kali avatar. You need to come up with some other avatar. And one of the avatars I have come up with is actually the Lakshmi. I know that sounds crazy, but the more financially independent I have gotten, the stronger I have become. So one of the things that has happened is, because now I'm not dependent on him, he has no power over me. And when people don't have any power over you, then you don't need to take out any avatar on them, because you're already on your own extremely powerful. So Savita, look at how can you grow your Lakshmi avatar to a point where it starts to become, he has no control over you. It's only words. There's no physical or environmental or decision-making control. And I feel like the most beautiful couples are the ones where they have no control over each other. So they are not with each other out of need, but they are with each other out of choice. Those to me are the most beautiful relationships. So Puneet and I try our best that we remove all needs and stay with one another, because we choose to. We get to. We don't have to. So there's no have to. You either, I'm getting to live with this man and experience this beautiful life, I'm so grateful to God, or I'm choosing to live with this man, I am so grateful to God. Not I have to live with this man, because wherever there's a have to, all of these game playings will be happening. Yeah? Pragya Dhingra 18. It feels like I don't know what to do with my life. I'm earning okay, but not something that is my purpose of life. I want to enjoy with my money, travel, but no single friends to accompany. Pragya, we need to design your life. Okay, sweetheart? So a lot of times what happens is, over time we have everything, but everything is not meaningful enough any longer. You need to take it to the next level. So together we can actually design your life. One of the things I will be doing very soon is called the Awakening Program. It's my Goddess by Design level 2. So I'd love to invite each one of you here for it. It's happening on the 23rd and 24th of July. So just make a note, 23rd, 24th of July, please come for the Awakening Program. For you to register for this program, all you need to do is call up Gunjan and let her know. So I'm going to share Gunjan's phone number under this video. Today, clearly, there's going to be a lot of information under this video. I better remember, or somebody from my team, please remember what all I've been promising that I'm going to share under this video. So just call her up and send her a message. I would like to be a part of Awakening. If you are already a part of our level 2 programs, which is Awakening, Coaching Mastery, any of that, we have a very special offer for you. If you are not a part of our Awakening program yet, and you may need to buy it, then just pick it up. It will be for under 5 grand. So don't worry. It's not going to be super duper expensive, but it's going to be 2 full days. So just wanted all of you to know that we are going to be doing this 23rd, 24th of July. See if you can come for it. I think we are going to have a blast together, literally recreating your life. So what I mean when I say this is it's going to be fabulous in terms of really creating your goddess, understanding your goddess, aligning yourself with your goddess, and then embodying the goddess. All of these 4 phases over the 2 days. It's one of my most beautiful courses. Highly, highly recommend it. Swarna Parva. Happy to see you, Puja. Happy to see you too, Vibrant Swati. Woohoo. Namita Bansal, how will I do life coaching? My past experiences, I learned coaching because I was in depression, but now I've decided I will become a life coach for those women who suffer in life but no confidence. Namita Bansal, please come for the 9th and 10th of July Coaching Mastery program. It is going to be extremely beneficial for you. Again, what we'll do is we'll add all of these links in our bio, okay, so that you can register. So one of the things we are doing is we have a masterclass, especially for those of you who are very interested and keen on becoming coaches. This Saturday, I have a masterclass. Come attend it for 3 hours and let me show you what the journey ahead looks like, right? And then for those of you who are interested, I can see my white hair. So Coaching Mastery is going to be happening on 9th and 10th of July. If you can give me those 2 days of your life, I can assure you, you'll get a lot of clarity for those of you who are interested in becoming coaches. But you know what? I don't like to promote anything in my Insta Lives. My Insta Lives are here just for me to add value. For if you want more details, best is to contact Gunjan, Radhika. I'll share all the numbers with you, and that's the best way. Last week when I had announced for the Life by Design Academy 2 slots, we got 65 of you showing interest and almost 5-6 of you have picked up the course. So I'm so proud of each one of you who's taking action in their life. Remember, this 1 hour is great and it's motivating, but if you want to seriously transform your life, you need to get into some paid program or the other, because those are the ones that seriously take you on a journey of the kind that you need. The intensity has to become greater for deep transformation to happen. This is 1 hour will give you 1 week of motivation, but you want to change your life, you need to get into deep intensity work. Yeah. Oh, so sweet. You're too beautiful to be true. Thank you. God bless you. Love thyself. Do you believe in full moon is powerful, and have you tried moon water? I haven't tried moon water. I do believe that we as women are dictated or in some form connected very deeply with the moon. Earlier on, the moon phases and our menstrual cycle was there used to be a flow, there used to be a match. A lot of us are created most of us or all of us are created with a high percentage of water in our body. And remember, the moon has a direct impact on high tide and low tide, which means it has an impact on our moods as much. So I'm a big believer of that. Moon and the woman, the feminine and the moon are deeply connected. So if you can explore that connection and start to make that a part of your life, it's always very helpful to really understand what we are going through. Earlier on, we used to be so connected to all of this. Unfortunately, all of this cement and our world is now turned so disconnected with nature that we've lost the power of all of this. Oh, so sweet. All right. Jagruti Jagawat. My younger daughter is very impatient and also short-tempered. How to deal with it? Jagriti, I believe that anytime we want to build a personality of someone's, we have to start to praise them rather than show them their weakness. I'll give you an example. Brian Tracy, one of my mentors, amazing guy in productivity. If you haven't Googled him, I highly recommend. If you haven't read his book, Eat That Frog, just beautiful. He's wonderful with goal settings. So he narrated this story to me where he has 4 children. One of his children's name is Dave. And Dave was very scared of switching off the lights. He was scared of darkness. So what they started to do is they would say, Dave the Brave is going to switch off the lights. Dave the Brave is going to do things. So they kept on building Dave the Brave. Okay, so Dave the Brave is going to go bring water from the kitchen. Dave the Brave. And over the month, they kept on emphasizing on how brave Dave was. And one of the days when they'll be going in the car and they know Dave is at the back or sleeping, they'll discuss Dave, like, how brave Dave has become. And so subconsciously, at a very subliminal level, they are going on seeding this thought that Dave is very brave. Eventually, a day came where one of his friends was over and he was scared of darkness, and Dave went and switched off the lights. So he asked him, how are you able to do it? I thought last time I met you. He said, no, I'm actually the bravest in my family. So I just loved this analogy so much because it reminds me that any time you want to bring into someone's life something that you feel like they can improve, don't ever fix them. Start to speak in a language that starts to motivate them or encourage them to do that more. So whenever your daughter actually shows a little bit of patience or shows no temper, start to catch that and encourage her. We tend to do what? We start to catch the negative and we start to mention that. See, again, you're showing your impatience. I've told you so many times, don't be so short-tempered. No. Catch the opposite and start to feed that. That will grow. It's not going to be easy. I will say that right in the beginning. But you know what? Honestly, it will be very, very worth it. So see how you can start to look at her and look at other qualities in her which are really amazing and start to encourage those also. Because sometimes when we start to highlight the good, the bad automatically fizzles out. So you can even try that as a strategy. Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom so that I can... Oh, so sweet. Hi, Manisha. So nice to see you here, my Jan. Sarita, since 3 years, I was looking for a guy for my sister for marriage within the community. Now she's in the belief that marriage doesn't last long, always ends with fight. How to convince her? Sarita, I believe that right now marriages are really ending with fights. Almost majority of marriages are today ending for the first time in the history of the world. There are more divorces than marriages. What does that mean? The majority has tipped, which means there are more divorces in the world. For every 1 marriage there is, or every 10 marriages there is 6 divorces when it used to be 4 or 5. So we've tipped. So that being the truth, I feel like today no one should be forced into marriage. Marriage has to start to become optional. In China, 50% of women are opting not to get married. What was the purpose of marriage? The purpose of marriage was protection and to be provided for, okay, earlier on. So if you are well protected, that means you're in a safe environment and you know how to earn for yourself. Tell me one reason why a woman should compromise as much as we are expected to. For what? Unless she finds someone where she's getting more than that. Today we do not want to marry for protection and for being provided for. Today we want to marry for love and to share a companionship with someone who understands us. True? So I feel like this whole shift is happening where going forward people are going to stop getting married. I think the Sushmita Sen model or the Ekta Kapoor model or the these different models are now coming into our world where I'm not even sure if marriage is going to remain essential. I have so many clients who are not married, and I believe that the reason they are not married is because they were raised as daughters and who they need to become as daughter-in-law is not acceptable to them. Or the man itself who wants to marry these kind of girls is still looking for his mother or that patriarchal woman who will give in to him. And girls don't want to give in today. And why should they? They are equally and as capable. So why should they give in? So I know you wanted me to answer the question that I should give you an answer that will convince her to get married. I'm doing the reverse. I'm going to ask you, why do you believe that she needs to be married? You know, those days are over when we used to say things like, oh, but then in our old age, she'll be left all alone. Don't worry. A lot of people will be left all alone. They can all hang out together and party. I feel like we've overdone this whole marriage game. I mean, unless you find someone amazing, by the grace of God, I have someone amazing in my life. So who am I to say anything against marriage? Because we really do share something really special. But having said that, if it wasn't special, would I want to be in this marriage? My answer is absolutely no. I wouldn't be in a marriage for just because I should be married. So I feel like, Sarita, look, the day you find her someone who's really worthy or she feels attracted to, maybe her heart will change. But just to be married, I don't know if that any longer is good advice. I've told both my children that, you know what, when you find someone who inspires you truly, that's when you marry. Otherwise, don't marry, because I don't know if that's the kind of sacrifice we want our children to do, especially daughters. You know, I worry for our daughters, because today we are giving them everything before marriage, but after marriage, the role has yet not changed completely. There is still certain expectations out of a girl which are not fair. And I feel like we're about 4 to 5 years away from that expectation to change. And I really hope it does change, but I think ours will be the last generation of daughter-in-laws of the typical kind. I think it's all going to change. I know my mother-in-law had it worse than me, and I had it easier than her, and my daughter or daughter-in-laws will have it easier than what I had it. And it needs to progress to that level where two equal human beings are coming together. Like my friend Rajiv puts it so beautifully, mutualism is the way forward, where it's all mutual, but it hasn't arrived there yet. I don't mean to give you a lecture on this, my sweetheart. I'm sure you know better. But sometimes the only reason we want our loved ones to be married is because we feel like that's how our society expects it, or that's how it's supposed to be. I feel like we need to get out of this supposed to be, and we need to move into what's the best for my whoever it is, my daughter, my sister, what's the best. You know, sometimes when we see our parents worry, we start to worry for them, and then we start to force our siblings to do things which our parents would like. So be careful. I don't know in which angle you are concerned, but address the concern. What's the concern here? That she's alone, that you'd like her to have someone who she can love, and you know, they can love each other. What's the concern here? And look at addressing the concern rather than getting her married. Yeah, makes sense. I hope not everyone is ready for this conversation, and I totally understand that, but I think it's about time we started to have this conversation. Looks like a lot of relationship conversation today, hai na? Love that said, do you believe in sleep talking, if that works in the subconscious level? I'm not sure. See, I believe in everything and I believe in nothing. What do I mean when I say this? Different things work for different people. And if it works for you, I believe in it. And if it doesn't work for you, then I have no attachment to it. So try it out. If it works for you, why not? I love putting like guided meditations before I sleep, and I just like them to keep going on. Some sort of affirmations keep going on. Do they work? I don't know. Do I enjoy them? Yeah, it makes me sleep better. It gives me a nice thought process. So I enjoy it. So I don't know in what reference you're talking about sleep talking, but I'm guessing switching on something when it keeps on continuously going on as you sleep. I believe all these little things help. You know what? Because what it does is it makes us focus on self-growth, and self-growth on its own helps. Yeah. Oh, so sweet. Preeti Bagla, hi Puja, done your coaching mastery. So what should I start with online? I'm not able to figure it out. Preeti, now you need to get some sort of content. So whatever is your passionate topic, whether it is around tarot reading or what do you want to become a coach in? That's what you need to identify. Go do a course and start with that. If you have looked at our coaching certification, it's one of the most beautiful programs to get started with. Look at that. If not, then look at whatever. So many courses are available in the market today. I have coaches who are doing art therapy. I have coaches who are doing confidence and clarity. I have coaches. I mean, the topics are endless. You know what the beauty of today's coaching world is? That there is no end to topics. So the only thing I would say is have the courage to start something. Do not fear that. Yeah. Why, ma'am, do I feel afraid for commitment in a relationship? Why they take step back when it comes to marriage? Why man feels afraid for commitment in a relationship? Why do they take a step back when it comes to marriage? Book_tube. Honestly, it can be man or woman. I don't think it's a man-centric problem, but it's definitely more in men than women. Why do they feel it? I feel like depends on the experiences that they've had in their life. What is it that they have seen in a marriage that could cause that? So I feel like a lot of clients that come to me that have this commitment issue, I love looking at their parents' relationship. I love looking at their ex relationships, like their past relationships. Sometimes something has happened that has put fear into them and now they are scared. वैसे ही any decision that you have to make for life, wouldn't you feel like you'll be scared of that? Any decision that you have to make for life. Yeah. So I'd love for you to start to look at, you can have this conversation. The best way to deal with this is to communicate. What is your fear? And remember, fear can never be dealt with logically. Logically, you cannot make sense of someone's fear. So you want to be able to go deeper and ask them to get help. Ask them to look at a life coach, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. All of these people can help him with how to get over the commitment issue in a relationship, especially if you've been cheated on or you have seen cheating as in a relationship. That causes a lot of commitment issue in relationships because you're scared. Yeah. So look at all of that and see where the issue is. All right, Nandini, I'm married because of my family's pressure, but now a divorce because he's a psycho. Now I told my mom, don't come to me for your relatives and friends from others. I'm here for me. It's up to, okay. This is all in reply to what we had spoken about, why it shouldn't be, nobody should be pressurized into marriage. Jir Inna, how to not get affected by a critical mother-in-law? Jir Inna, one of the things I think we have to start to understand is that nobody can make us feel anything that we choose not to feel. Okay, that's a very important foundational principle, that we have to start to take responsibility of our own happiness. And for how long are you going to let other people control that happiness in you, right? So what we are doing, when you have a critical mother-in-law, you have an expectation that she should be nice to you. If you change that expectation itself, my sweetheart, you will start to see that the same critical mother-in-law will not seem that powerful over you. So you have to start to look at, okay, in my life, what is it that she's saying to me? Let's say she's saying that, you know what, you don't make the bed properly, you don't cook properly, you don't look after my son properly, you don't look after your children properly. What if you had to reduce that power, that I don't want the remote control of my life in her hands. She should not be able to decide every morning what mood I am going to spend the whole day in. I want to take my power back. So what is it that I can say? I can say that, you know what, I accept that I have a critical mother-in-law who can have no impact on me because I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm sure of what I'm doing. Let's say you had to start to say this to yourself every day, every day, every day. Remember, it's not what other people say to you, but what you say to yourself when other people stop talking. It's not important what other people say to you. Can you hurt me? Can anybody on this page hurt me? They can write whatever rubbish they want. So many times we have trollers writing, stuff. How does it matter? Why does it not matter? Because I won't give them any importance, correct? Either I'll choose to ignore them or they don't matter to me. The same we have to do with our relationships. We have to realize that some people have good intentions but they don't know how to talk. Some people don't know how to talk and don't have good intentions. Those are what I call the toxic people. There are some who I call disguised angels, which means actually they mean good but they just don't know how to communicate. So if you can start to compartmentalize the world into, you know what, these people inspire me, these people are neutral, these people expire me. And in your expiry list, start to see how can you reduce their power over you. Otherwise, you're going to land up spending a lot of your life talking about the people you hate most with the people you love most. So what's happening? You know who's going to be paying the price for this? Your own dear husband. Because he'll have to continuously hear things against his mom, a woman he loves a lot. And as you keep on hurting him, you will want a better relationship with him. But guess what? If he is hurting, you cannot be happy. At some point, he's going to hurt you back. So just out of the choice, I always say, do you hate her more or do you love him more? If you love him more today, make up your mind. I'm not going to talk about her. I'm not going to bring her into my bedroom. I'm not going to make it about her. I'm going to live my life with him. It doesn't matter what she says. I accept every criticism of hers. She is impossible to be made happy, and I accept that today. I change my expectation that, you know what, I do not need her validation, her approval to be a happy woman. And see if you can shift the power back to yourself. Remember, we, especially in India, in the patriarchal world, there is a whole law of hierarchy in a house. The father-in-law is right on top, the mother-in-law is right below that, the son, the siblings, and then the daughter-in-law comes right in the end in that pyramid, okay? So if the daughter-in-law wants to do anything in her life, she has so many permissions and so many people to keep in mind. Now, how do you take your power back if you stop letting them impact you? So you have to really start to go into that situation where you have to start to tell yourself, for how many years am I going to allow this? I have clients who come to me who for 20 years are still coming and speaking about, but Puja, you know what she did to me today? And you know what she did to me today? And you know what she did now? And you know what she did? She took away my sari. She took away things from my cupboard without asking me. She did that. She spoke to my children against me. And I say, you know what? Once you know you don't have electricity in your house, no point coming to me every week and saying, Puja, today computer is not working. Today toaster is not working. Today fridge is not working. Today microwave is not working. When are we going to accept that there's no electricity in your house and start to deal with that rather than focusing on what's not working today? So see if you can start to work with what will give you happiness. You know, what are the things you desire? Start to work on a beautiful future. Otherwise, you're going to remain stuck in the past, where every injustice, every misunderstanding, every label that has been put on you, the minute you will be alone, you will go into deep thinking of that. Whether you are alone in the shower or in some other area, I can assure you that's what will keep coming, because you know what? That's sitting like arrows, wounds in your heart currently. And you need to remove every arrow, and healing needs to begin. And healing will only happen when you reduce her power over you. And you can only reduce her power over you when you start to have a better future in front of you. So what's going to excite you? What are the things you're excited about? Traveling with your family, time spent with your husband, maybe building a career, maybe building your health, maybe going to the gym. I need you to have such a beautiful life that she loses all of her importance. Does that make sense? I know this was a very long answer to something that could have been said easily, but you know what? I want to give this new perspective to everybody, because we get so many people who come to us on how to handle this toxic person or how to handle that toxic person. You can't handle toxic people. They are toxic. Everywhere they go, they spread poison. So handling them is impossible. The only person you can handle is yourself. So know this, that they are not going to change. So if you're going to wait for them to change, you're going to be only in waiting. You have to change yourself so that you can build that armor or that protective layer so that they can't impact you. Yeah? God bless you, my darling. Fareen, my mother-in-law is jealous of me. How to cope with that? I don't know how many of you know my answer to jealousy is always say thank you to God. And I wish this problem on every single one of you who is in this room. What do I mean when I say this? When people are jealous of you, you have something that is more in your life than it is in theirs. You may be deserving of it, or you may have been blessed by God. but always look up and thank God. As you will grow in success, what's going to happen? More and more people are going to keep getting jealous of you. Today it is mother-in-law, tomorrow it will be mother-in-law and sister-in-law, then it will be mother-in-law, sister-in-law and larger family, then maybe even the world at some point. The more successful you will get, the more admiration you will get, but the more jealousy also you will get. Correct? Now, when we are jealous of people, I tell people, move your jealousy to inspiration. Look at someone you're jealous of and say, God, I want that in my life, so I want to bless them so that I can receive the same, because if I send negativity to them, it won't come into my life either. So shift all of your jealousies to inspiration when you feel jealous of someone. And when someone is jealous of you, always when you discover someone is jealous of you, look up at God and say, thank you. Thank you so much for this person is jealous of me. May many more people be jealous of me, and may my aura grow that I can handle all of these people who are jealous of me, because who do we feel jealous of? The one who has more than us. And I want you to have more than everybody around you. Why not? Especially if you're a giver, you deserve to have more, because the more you'll have, the more good will happen in the world. Correct or no? So I'm sure a lot of people are jealous of me, and the only thing I have to say to them is that, you know what? I don't have actually anything to say to them. I only have to say to my God that thank you so much, God. Thank you so much for giving me something that there is something the other people are jealous of. So please, God, preserve this talent of mine. Please, God, make people jealous of me on this, because I want that. I hope you're able to understand that, you know what, we can't make someone not jealous of us. Till they don't move it to inspiration, till they don't move it to something that they desire, we can't do anything about it apart from just thanking God, thanking God, thanking God. Thank God 1,000 times. Every time you discover someone is jealous of you, thank God. Because there's no better gift God can give you than this. Correct or no? Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom. It's 10:53. In another 5 minutes, I want to start with this thing. So we'll just take one last question. Jasmine Nanavati. Hi Puja, my to-be son-in-law is not good looking like my daughter, so I'm not able to accept him wholeheartedly. How do I come over it? Jasmine, one of the things we have to understand is that there is the outside and then there is an inside. And if the outside is amazing but the inside doesn't match, that deal is a much lesser deal than if the reverse is true. Especially for a guy, I believe that when a man and a woman, especially in our culture, the beauty of a woman is where she gets her self-esteem from. The bank balance of a man is where he gets his self-esteem from. If the man is too good looking, but he's not able to protect, provide, love, do all the things for your daughter, then what is his looks worthy of? Nothing to me, according to me, right? So see if you can see beyond the looks. Tell me, is he a good man? Because if he's a good man and the only thing he doesn't have is looks, tell your daughter to adjust with that. We have to compromise with something. I'd rather she compromise with his looks than compromise with his personality. True or not? And you know what? One of the things I've seen is when someone is good to us, over time we start finding them good looking. And if someone is supremely good looking, but if they are not a good human being, over time they lose their beauty. We are unable to see their beauty. So while I do believe that everyone should show up in their best version, one of the things I feel we all need to evolve to grow into is that we have to stop looking at the skin and we have to start looking at the soul. The more evolved we will get, the more soulful we will get. What is the biggest problem in the world right now? Can I tell you? All sorts of racism. When I say racism, the color of the skin, the caste, the community, which country, we are measuring everything but the soul. I think if you are coming for my sessions like this, then I'd love for you to grow yourself to become this person where looks totally stop mattering. See, looks is just the packaging. How can the packaging be more important than the gift within? Today, we have made packaging so important that packaging has become a scam. People will pack rubbish things in such a beautiful manner and sell it at triple the price because the packaging. And because some of us don't have the perception that the inside matters more than the outside, we are actually going for that. So while Jasmine, I know very authentically, very honestly, very sweetly, you have asked me this question where you want to be able to like your son-in-law, but I'm going to tell you, the measure of a son-in-law should be how happy he keeps your daughter and nothing else. The relationship you share with your son-in-law is about your daughter. It's not how good looking he is, how smart he is, how intelligent he is. Don't measure him on all of this. Just have only one measurement. And that measurement is how good is he to your daughter. And if he is good to your daughter, fall in love with him. And if he is not, that's when I will be okay to have a further conversation with you. I hope that makes sense to you, my Jan. Kritika Ehsan, what are the other women-oriented courses like Mama Gina you have done from abroad? Lately, actually nothing post-COVID. I haven't been doing any women-oriented courses, but there are a few that I want to go to. There's one especially in Mexico, Tulum, I think the place is called, that I really have been wanting to go to. I hope this year I'm able to go to it. And if I do land up going for it, I will definitely share the details. Right now, on the top of my head, I don't remember the name of the teacher. Something like Planet BB or something like that. Just Google, just Instagram Planet BB and see if she shows up. It's just someone I've been feeling very attracted to go for. She again has this very beautiful tribe and very interesting it's looking. Okay, we've come to 10:57. I better read out all of your winning on this thing. Let me just, all the winners of this last times I want to announce. 1 second. All right, so Ujwala Madhvi 15, Image Design Consultancy, the designer Priyanka, Lakshmi Ravi Shankar _ official, Shilpa Dadich, Innovative Taro Trupati, Gauri 1811, Mona Mikas Bakes, Simani, Allure Crown, Kaveri Shubham, Aditi Ashish Kumar, Savita Agarwal, Digital Amal Priya, Books by with Kavita, Embrace Exhibit Courage, Zahra Ali, Banita Patel, Shruti R. Patel, Anita Gupta, Life Coach Priyadashni Lopamudra, Anushka Chopdekar, Devika Wins, Artist Puja QnA, Soumya Subana, Megha Kapoor, Feel Heal Connect, Gargi Mukherjee 77, Mukatji, Shuru Sharma 0, Shamanjeet Mindset Motion NLP, Reset with Rakhi.official, Gargi Arya, Divya _ Vijay Life Coach, Pooja Ramesh Punjab and Neha S. Super congratulations to 35 of you participants, and the winners for this week are Neha.Karan 86, Deepika Das and Kashyap Nutan. Fabulous. So big congratulations to all of you. You are doing phenomenally well for this week. Let's get our picture quickly done so that you can also post. Remember, in 12 weeks, we are going to look and see who all are our winners. And then top 10 of you are going to get a special Zoom call just with me, where only I will not get to speak, but you will also get to participate and be a part of it. So don't forget to take your picture. Let me quickly post for you. Cheers! Yeah? Done? I never know where I need to look. Do I need to look up there or do I need to look down here? I'll just look up there for you guys. Everybody got your picture? Fabulous. I hope you got your picture. Don't forget to tag me. All you need to do is take a picture, tag me, put your takeaways. What was your 1, 2, 3 learning for today, and share it in the story so that I share it on mine. And if I land up sharing it on mine, you are then eligible to become one of our top 10 winners of meeting me personally on Zoom. The 10 of you and me. It's not 1 to 1, it's 1 to 10. Okay, remember that. Love you all so much. Thank you for coming. Woohoo! Bye. Ciao. And if it is of interest to you, any of the courses, Awakening, Masterclass, coaching mastery, or you want one of my coaches to do one-to-one coaching for you, all you need to put under this video is LBDA interested in LBDA. That's all you need to put. Someone from my office will get in touch with you for all other details. Okay, so if you're interested in LBDA, which means personal one-to-one coaching, put that underneath. Otherwise, we will be sharing all of the links in the bio. Go register yourself. I look forward to seeing you guys. Bye. Love you all.